So I thought I'd make another video, but this one is about the problems with map design in this game, because it seems to mostly affect top tier from my experience, because maps like this really don't fit top tier at all. Especially these sorts of areas, because there are so many angles in here to sort of cover and hold, that the chances of you really pushing and not dying are quite slim. So it gets to the point where everyone just sort of stops and holds the choke point. That's what these maps do. And this map especially gives you a real limit, gives you really limited options. If you want to flank, like, this is literally the only flank you can go down. And you can't really do anything until you get to about here because this hill's too steep. So essentially what this map encourages you to do is flank into their spawn. That's all this map encourages you to do is flank into their spawn. And what I end up doing is mostly doing this, sitting here and just holding this alleyway so no one can push down here, because it's the only thing I found it's useful to do. You can try and go out here, but then you can just end up stuck in this position because there's no way out, because there's no real flanking routes. It basically just tries to force you to just push straight into the city, and as you can see with all these, it's just mess of angles. I mean, literally, if you sit here, you can be shot from here, 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 here. If you're in this place, there, possibly there. We're talking like you can be shot from about 7 or 8 different angles everywhere you sit. And so it comes to the point where it's not a matter of skill if you survive or not. It's just a matter of luck. It is literally a matter of luck. And it gets to the point where people just cap the points and they just hold an angle. They just hold angles. These maps really don't work for this tier. I mean, we're talking 200, 400, 600, 800, 1000, 1200, 1400. About 1400 meters wide by 200, 400, 600, 800, 900, 1000, about 1300 wide. I mean, we're just talking about 1.5 kilometers by about 1.3 kilometers. These tanks, like these top tier tanks, are designed to do combat at like 1 to 2 kilometers. You're using 200-meter shots here consistently, and then you have tanks like the Challenger that would never be used in this situation. So you get forced into this map, and you're essentially forced to play in this style that just doesn't fit your tank. It doesn't incorporate all styles of gameplay, it doesn't promote it, and it doesn't support it. So you just end up basically stuck in this one style that may not suit you or your tank. Now, in my opinion, good maps should give you options. You look at maps like, for instance, a map I quite like is Maginot at top tier, because you can flank, you can snipe, you can push into a city. Because of the flanking routes, you can take covered routes to places and get closer if you really feel like it. You have options. See a map like Folder, for instance. Folder allows that. So do some of the fields. I think the Poland map and the Hurtgen Forest map, and I can't remember the other one. But these maps allow you, space. And obviously this is 2A6, which I've spoken about before being broken because of this round. No, it is obscene, but that's another topic. So I killed this 72B3, straight through his driver's port, which I actually don't need to aim for with this tank, but I did. Force of habit, I guess. But the point is that for most of this game, I'm just going to sit here. Now this guy flanks up, so we're going to follow him. So we're going to follow him. Now I'm going to fast forward and watch. He just flanks along, flanks along, flanks along. Waits, just sits here waiting. You can't really go up here and engage these guys, you can't do anything. See, he's just flanking directly to their spawn. He's making a beeline to spawn camp. That's what this encourages you to do. I mean, it's ridiculous. You see, I'm pretty sure he looked at this guy. So either he's deciding to not kill him so they don't know where he is, or he hasn't got the gun depression. I don't know which one it is. Or he just didn't notice him. Or perhaps he did. But you just see, look, now he's going to get shot by his 72B3. See, yes, I mean, it just... There's no way of really flanking this objective from down here. It's pointless. You're just hemmed into going out there, and you've got another teammate who's sitting out here. Don't know who that is, but he's sitting out there. There is no options on these sorts of maps, and there's another map like it, like Campania. everyone just goes to the north of the map and sits on these 2 hills. That's all they do. It's just bizarre that these are the maps that they decide to try and force on top tier, and then you have a map called Corellia, which I actually have banned, which you get a top tier, and it's just unusable. It's unplayable. You see, I'm still sitting here. I've had my gun breech taken out. I spot this guy, but then I think he dies. I think I'm about to get my gun breech taken out again pretty soon, but I don't really do much this game. But yeah, the point is that these maps don't give you enough options, and these maps are fine at low tier, you know, with close engagement ranges. You could say more effective heavy tanks that can take a hit, they can be a bit more forgiving maybe, and less accurate guns, less penetration on the guns, lower muzzle velocities. They work pretty good on low tiers, like 4.7 to 5.7, they're actually okay. Other than, you know, it being weird that you're using 1940s tanks in a modern city. But they can still function. These tanks on these maps just cannot function. There is no way for really enjoyable balanced gameplay, because by the time like you can flank around here in what, like a minute or so, and you can start spawn camping. It's basically the tanks are so fast you can go across here in what, I mean, these things go like 50 kilometers an hour, so you're going about a kilometer, so just over a minute. You know, it's a bit weird, really. And I don't know why Gaijin keeps making maps like this. This map to me just seems like it's made by an artist, not a map designer. Because it looks cool, but it plays like shit. It plays like absolute shit. And I think eventually we're going to push up far enough to spawn camp them, because that's how every game ends. Not be able to get out of their spawn. Yeah, see, people pushing up, you can't get out of their spawn. Gaijin really need to stop making maps like this, because they're not conducive to good gameplay. I understand at low tier it can be fine, because at low tier tanks are slow, you don't want to drive for ages just to get into combat. I understand that. But with tanks like this, it can go like 50, 60, sometimes nearly 70 kilometers an hour, that have, you know, rounds that are effective at, you know, well over 2 kilometers. I mean, that's the weaker version that can still do 456mm a pen. The M33, we're talking like 3 to 4 kilometers. This can tear through a lot of MBTs. I mean, we're literally talking, if we went to the M182, got our DM53, and these tanks are effective. They can go through front at 5 kilometers, and we're doing battle at what, 200 meters? It really makes no sense. And you could say, oh well, ban the map. Well, unfortunately, not enough options, really. I mean, I can't ban this because I can only ban one map. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that, and I hope that Gaijin start making more maps like Maginot or Folder for top tier.